Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, we successfully installed Laravel default authentication system, that means the JDStream and the Fortify, right? And after that, when you refresh this project, it's now showing as an unknown database as a Laravel. So right now we have to create one of the database and then we have to configure it. So for doing this, you have to go to your, right now I'm using that XAMPP. That means I am using that localhost XAMPP and make sure you run that MySQL. So when you run it, then automatically there is option for the phpMyAdmin. And now if you click on here, and that is actually our localhost PHP server, that is the MySQL server. So right now my server version is a 10.4.14, and here you can see there is a user, and that is actually PHP version is also visible. So right now that is all that our database. Now if you go to the database, and with the databases, that is all that our my database. So right now for our this project, that means for our school project, I want to create one of the database. So I want to create it as a school, or whatever you actually choose. Okay, so right now I name it as a school. So that will be our main database. So now I just simply click as a create. Now you can see friend, our database is now successfully created. So now we have to configure this database in this project. So for doing this, you have to go to your project folder, and in the project folder, if you go to the .env file and into the .env, here you can see friend, now that is actually our main appropriate position. So that is actually our DB connection. So right now we are using that MySQL, and that is a DB host, and there is a database name. By default, Laravel actually provided one of the default name as a Laravel. So here I have created one of the database name. I have created database name as a school. So right now I copy it, and then I want to update this one. That will be our database name. And by default, that is actually username as a root and password is null. So here friend, right now if in my XAMPP, if you go to main project, and here if you go to that accounts, that means the user account, and with the user account here you can see that is actually username by default as a root, and host name as a local host, and password, right? So right now I don't have any password, so right now you can see it's now showing as a none. Okay, so that means the no. So my username will be as a root, so you can see it's now pretty much default, so the default as a root and the password as a null. So if you have any password, then you can update that password. So right now it's totally fine with me. So that is actually our database as a school, and here that is our database, and that is our username by default as a root, and I don't have any passwords. For the reasons here, I make it as a empty. So right now that's all we have to do. So I just click as a save all. So friend, here we successfully created one of the database, and also we successfully create the connection. So right now if you click as a refresh, so it's still showing our another one. You can see it's now showing as a school session does not exist. So here we have to migrate it. Okay, so as I told you, into the databases they have some of the migrations table. So here we have to migrate it. So if you want to migrate it, it's pretty much simple. One of the command we have to run, so that is appropriate our file location, and now I run with the PHP artisan and then migrate. So that is a PHP artisan migrate. So now if you click as a enter, now you can see it's now created all that our default database table. Okay, all the database table is now successfully created. If you now go to our database right now, click as a refresh. Now you can see friend, that is all the default one. That is our user one of the table, there is a session, there is a personal access token, password reset, migration, and the failing job. So our database is now created. Now if you go to our project, click as a refresh, yeah, you can see it's now perfectly now updated. So now they have another option for the logging and the register. So if you click as a logging, so that will be as a logging page. So that is actually JDStream logging page. So this page actually comes from, I show you, like if you go to into our view page, that means that is actually our resources. Into the resources there is a view. When you install that Laravel JDStream package, it's created one of the auth folder, and with the auth folder here you can see there is a logging blade. So there is a logging blade is now loaded on here. Okay, and also there is a register blade, so there is a there is a reset password. So every page actually loaded from to this position. Okay friend, so right now there is actually our logging page, and there is a forget password page. So that is our forget password page. In fundamental I have already discussed about everything with you, and that is our register page. So right now I want to create one of the register accounts. So here I name it as a admin, Okay, I name it as admin, and I just put that email address will be as admin@gmail.com, and I put the password as udemy12345 and the confirm password udemy12345. Okay, so here I have created new one. So that is our admin, that is email address will be as a admin@gmail.com password and the confirm password. So right now I want to create one of the registered account. I have already migrate our database table. That means automatically it will be created inside one of the user table in particular that area. Okay, here you don't need to do anything. So I just simply want to do and to click as a register. Yes, you can see friend, right now we are successfully registered with one of the new account. So if you now go to our user table, click as a browse. Now you can see the name is a admin, email address, and that is one of the hash password. Perfect. So that is our totally admin is visible. That is admin profile, and that is our logout. Okay. So right now that is a dashboard. So friend, this dashboard actually comes from where? In fundamental I have already show you like that is actually if you go to our route right now. So right now we don't need this env. Here we successfully updated that part. And if you now go to our routes, into the route, that is our web routes. Okay, so when it will be successfully logged in, when this user will be successfully logged in, then it will be returned direct to our dashboard. That means the / dashboard, right? And here you can see it's now loaded one of the return view, the dashboard page. That means that is a clear view, and that is our dashboard page. So that is the dashboard page is now loaded. So that means here it's now loaded. Okay, so this file actually comes from here. So if you want to change it, you can change it from to this position. Okay, whatever the view page you will load it in particular that area, you can manage it from here. So that is our dashboard. And also as I told you, when you install Laravel JDStream and the Fortify into the config folder, there is option for the Fortify. And with the Fortify by default they are using the guard as a web guard. So that is username, and here you can see there is actually all that register option, reset password option, the email verification option. That means if you now go to admin, into the admin there is actually the profile, and with the admin profile here you can see there is a name as a this name is visible. So the email address is visible. There is the update password option, so I will discuss about that things later. And there is another two-factor authentication, the browser session, the delete account. So everything is friend here ready-made. Okay, also here if you want to display that profile, then you have to go to that configure, and there is a JDStream. And with the JDStream here you can see there is actually the profile photos, APIs, and the feature stamp. So right now I want to open this profile photo. So make that sure you unmark this comment. So now I click the save all, and now it should be visible. Click as a refresh. Yeah, you can see there is another option is loaded as a photos. Okay friend, so here we successfully create our database table, we migrate that database table, we successfully created that connection. Okay, everything is now perfectly working. And right now from here if you click as a logout, then this user will be logged out and it will be redirected direct to our home page. And if you click as a login, so I have already created one of the user as admin@gmail.com and the password udemy12345. Now click as a login. Yeah, it's now successfully logged in. So in our next video I want to discuss about this dashboard. Okay, here if you want to update it, that profile, there is a picture how can update it. In our next video I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.